Hello guys and welcome back to Big Brother, and today we're only reporting on one episode because unfortunately I'm going to be away, so therefore I'm only going to be talking about Sunday night's episode today. I know, craziness, but we have the fallout of Dean's eviction plus multiple rule breaks to talk about, so we have plenty of content to keep you guys busy. But if you are enjoying the Big Brother content, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well, and I will see you guys when we get into the video. Let's go. So, the first talking point that I want to bring up is the whole Shegan and Hannah situation. It feels disingenuous and weird from Shegan to be really cuddly and cozy with her one instance, and then behind her back talk to Khaled like, ugh, I don't know why she does it, like he's not egging it on. I don't know, I just feel like we've noticed for the last couple of weeks that Shegan does things and says things that seem performative and seem like they are almost as if he's putting on an act for the cameras. Like when Lily came in screaming, he was like, he was given like an Oscar-worthy performance. I was like, it's funny and it's entertaining and like, I like the guy. But there are just certain things that I'm like, I don't know. It's just a bit odd behaviour, isn't it? It's like Hannah I go up and down with. Like, I didn't hate Hannah in this episode. I actually kind of found her quite funny, except for when she was trying to quit, but we'll talk about that later. But, like, I think that she's just one of these people that has highs, she has lows, and that just makes human behaviour interesting. Whereas Shegan doesn't really seem to have those lows. It seems like he's always just, like, quite a positive chap. And that's all well and good, but, like, I want to see some light and shade, do you know what I mean? I want to see the sort of down moments where he's like grr a little bit. Like we saw it a little bit when he was having a go about the Red Witch, but then we found out that that wasn't even his words, so he was just repeating them. I don't know, it's an odd one, isn't it? It's an odd one, but I think my issue came from the fact that he seems to be very two-faced when it comes to Hannah. He'll be cuddling her and like, oh, you're so lovely, you're so sweet, singing to her. And then he's talking to Khaled like, I don't get why she's so interested in me, like, etc, etc. This man has a girlfriend on the outside, or a significant other on the outside as far as we're aware. So it just feels like that is not being taken into account. Like, I only found that out because I think it was Izaz, or no, someone came out of the house and confirmed like, no, he actually does have someone on the outside, but we haven't seen that in the edit, and we're not seeing that through his behavior with Hannah. Like, come on, just like be respectful of the person you have on the outside. I don't know, it feels weird and wrong, and I don't know how to feel about it. I feel like Hannah does kind of like him and is not being led on, but I don't know, there's just dodginess going on, and I'm not sure how I feel about it with him. So it's time to talk about the rule break, and I have to say the rule break was fairly interesting because Big Brother just had a long list of things that he read out and was like, yo, I think we need to have a chat about all the rule breaks. So this was the rule break to do with the luxury food budget. And it actually turned out that Lily wasn't the only one that broke the rules. Lily broke the rules in the most egregious way, if I'm being honest. Like, she broke it blatantly and very, very wrongly, in my opinion. So as much as everyone was like, it's not just Lily. Yeah, but Lily did it on purpose. And everybody else just kind of like had little misdemeanors that weren't necessarily the worst thing in the world. But eating a whole ass chocolate bar, knowing full well that that's going to lose you like the rights to eat. Come on, that's just ridiculous at the end of the day. But Marcello ate a bit of chicken, spat it out, and then ate it again, which was quite funny, to be fair. And then there was like baked potato putting some like honey in her green tea. You had Nathan putting some all-purpose seasoning on his potatoes. You just had like little things that kind of added up. But to be honest, the only one that I was really mad at was Lily, because I was like, did you have to eat the whole ass chocolate bar? Like, come on, you're taking the mick with that. You're taking the absolute piss. But it is what it is. Not really much you can do about it. The rule break was essentially everyone was put on basic rations, which I think is ridiculous. It's one of those things that, like, it hasn't worked the first 50 million times that you did it. So maybe we need to start doing other things. I feel like this was a good fitting punishment for the fact that this was a food related rule break. So therefore a food related punishment is required. But even so, we're going to talk about the other rule break in a minute. But yeah, this one was particularly funny to watch. So Hannah's having a bit of a tough time, and honestly, I don't really understand it, because it does seem like everyone in the house is kind of pissed off and unhappy that they're on basic rations, but Hannah almost thinks that, like, I don't know whether she's too good for it, or she was like, I wouldn't treat myself like this on the outside world, so I'm not having someone else treat me like this. And I'm like, you're given what is basic rations? If basic rations was just gruel, I could understand it. But if basic rations is like bread, like I know in America it's like peanut butter and jelly sometimes. Like, come on. It's not the end of the world. You can put up with it for a couple of days. It's not the end of the world. Don't starve yourself and become a martyr, because Big Brother literally could not care less. He's given you everything that you need to survive. If you don't want to eat it, you don't want to eat it. That's your prerogative at the end of the day. I'm not going to step in and stop you. And if you want to leave, there's the door. I think Big Brother spends too much time like trying to talk them down. I think he should just be like, door's there. If you want to go, you go. But you're not coming back in. Once you're out, you're out. That's it. Dunzo. I feel like we need to start getting people to walk, because we've got 11 people and there's one more live eviction. One more. So if that's a double, which it has to be at this point, then we're still down to 9 people going into the final week, which is ridiculous. Honestly, what they doing? Can't believe it. I think every single week it should be a double eviction, if I'm being 100% honest. If you're going to have 16 people in the house, it needs to be a double every single week. Because there's 5 evictions, that gets rid of 10 of them, and then that's 6 people going into the final week with one more person being evicted before the final. That works out perfectly. I think that's how it should be. And if you're going to do it, do 2 a week. Do a Tuesday and a Friday, like Celebrity Big Brother does. I don't understand why you can't do that with main Big Brother. 2 evictions a week would help so much with the pacing of the show, I feel like. Because you could always have nominations on a Sunday. You could always have nominations on a Wednesday. And then Tuesday and Friday are your eviction days. Perfect. Fan-dabby-dozy. So the second rule break was a pretty tame one, if I'm being 100% honest, and I understood why Nathan didn't really consider this a rule break, but he did say that he would never nominate Emma, which he was like, well, that's obvious, I'm good friends with her, like, no one expects me to nominate her, so I feel like that's just me stating just obvious things. And I was like, yeah, I get that, but you're not allowed to talk about nominations, Nathan. You're not. This is where I feel like nominations related rule breaks need to have a nomination related like punishment. Personally, he should have been put up for eviction, but I understand why he wasn't, because there hasn't been that scaling with Big Brother. The first couple of nomination breaks were like, oh, we're going to put you in a jail. We're going to chain you to the wall. Okay, cool. And then it started to sort of develop into no hot water. And I was like, okay, cool. And then it just kind of kept like at that same level. But now we've upped it to you're not allowed to nominate and you're not allowed to compete in HOH, which fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. But that should have been a couple of rule breaks ago. This one should have been up for nomination because it's happened so many times. How many times do you need to be told, don't talk about nominations, don't even discuss it, don't even bring it up? Why would you? Jesus Christ, honestly, some people. But yeah, I thought this was a good punishment. He did go into the diary room and tell us who he would have nominated, and I was a little bit gutted that he can't nominate now, because he would have chosen Khaled, who I don't really want to go up for nomination, but he would have also chosen Thomas, and Thomas needs to go. Thomas is quite literally the most boring person on this show. Every single time he's on screen, he's moaning. He's like the Jenkins of this series, but like if Jenkins was just not fun at all. Like, Jenkins had some good moments. Thomas has not had one single good moment this entire series. There's not one moment that stands out where he hasn't been a miserable moaning bastard. So, and you're 21. How are you not really enjoying this experience? I feel like I'd be having an absolute blast in there. But he's like, oh, I'm so bored. There's no one to talk to. Like, we've talked about everything. Okay. Sucks to be you that you can't have, like, proper in-depth adult conversations. Because everybody else is doing fine, apparently. Apart from you. Jesus, honestly, talk about personalityless. So the final thing I want to talk about today was actually a really, really funny section of the episode. It involved Khaled telling a story to a group of people, and half of them were falling asleep, half of them were yawning, half of them were like I actually cannot believe that he was doing that. I can't. I think he was like explaining the plot of a movie or something like that, and it was just absolutely dreadful. Like, I was looking at him like, what you playing at? What you actually playing at? Because in my head, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, no, how are you not aware of the people literally falling asleep in front of you? Sarah literally collapsed on the sofa and fell asleep. Emma was like this. Baked Potato's eyes were drooping. Shekham's eyes were drooping. Ali was stifling yawns. And then there's Lily and Nathan sitting behind him, absolutely wetting themselves, watching all of this go down. How is he, like, not picking it up? But then when he was talking to, this is Nathan, when he was talking to Emma later on with Baked Potato, he was like, do you think that that was for the cameras? And Emma went, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's interesting that people are now starting to pick up the performative element of Khaled. I feel like it's just a thing of, like, he comes across so well in sections, and then he comes across as like, why would you do that? Why would you sit there and just talk at people when they're literally yawning in your face and falling asleep? Like, come on, have some self-awareness, bro. So, to finish up today, I've just got 2 funny moments from the episode. And the first funny moment is Baked Potato and Nathan having the absolute piss taken out of them by Emma and Sarah. This was up in the mezzanine, and was it the mezzanine? The upstairs area. And they were just absolutely ribbing them, being like, oh, have you done anything yet? And they were like, no, of course not. And then, for some reason, Baked Potato gave them the ammunition of, I accidentally brushed his penis once. Oh my goodness, Emma ran with that. Emma absolutely ran with that. And so did Sarah, to be fair. Sarah was mentioning Wee Willy Winky, which was having me howling. And honestly, it was really funny because earlier in the episode, we'd seen them getting a little bit frisky underneath the sheets. And honestly, I love that they are able to just sit there and have the absolute piss taken out of them, because that could not be me. That absolutely could not be me. I'd die inside. I'd be absolutely dying inside. The second funny moment had to be Lily's suspicious stew and Ali trying it and literally wanting to vomit after eating it. The stew is apparently still there. It has not moved. Nobody wants to touch it. No one wants to eat it. It looked gross. Apparently there were oil droplets in it. Ugh. Who allows this woman to cook? Thank God she's only on the phones at the Chinese takeaway. God, can you imagine if she was cooking? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll be back on Thursday to talk about all things Big Brother again. We'll have 3 episodes to catch up on, including, I think, nominations. So without much further ado, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. And make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye now.